if you're serious about your training, and I mean this at every level, amateur, pro, recreational, children, every level. If you're serious about your training, and by serious, I mean you're looking to get a result from something, and you're looking to get a sustainable result, something that you can duplicate, and you don't need a special environment to do it. You don't need special equipment. You can do it at your own beckoning. You can do it whenever you want. Whether you're staying on course, where you have moments where you get off course, you can do it no matter what. If you're serious about your training, it's something that you work yourself up to, and you're building up not just the result, but the behaviors that lead to those results. If you're serious about it, things like entertaining and fun can't be the priority. They can't even be considered. Training in its genesis and its priorities and what it is repetitive and monotonous in its nature. Fun and entertaining is new and shiny and something that people haven't done before, something that you've never seen. So training can't be that. Effective, efficient training can't be those things. A long time ago, making that statement was almost normal, like that was known. Now it sounds like I'm trying to be a hard ass, I'm trying to be a tough guy, and I'm not. Because what people don't understand who are serious about their training is, if they don't see fun, then what they see on the other side of not fun is not enjoyable. And what a lot of people who don't know and who don't understand training, effective, efficient training, is fun can be a detriment. Fun can be an actual can ruin the effectiveness of what you're trying to train for, because on the other side of fun is something better than that. There's something better than fun. But if you can't see past that because you just haven't experienced or you haven't heard it before, there are a lot better things than just having something fun and entertaining. Accomplishment, progression, those things are not necessarily fun, but you start to find fulfillment, you start to find success in those things, and you start finding the overwhelming feeling of that you've accomplished something. Those things can be on the opposite side of fun. And whether you're a pro or you're an amateur, or if you're an athlete, if you're general population, whatever foundation or whatever you start to build in your program, the fun part, the considering the fun and entertaining component of it, could be most likely will be a detriment to what you're trying to do. If we're considering it and we're looking at it from a professional athlete situation standpoint, the idea is, the more complex or the more accomplished sport, the higher the level of the athlete, then the more complex and more intricate, or the more complicated that the training has to be. And that's just not true. The better the athlete, the more experienced the athlete, the more precise, the more precision they need to have in the basic fundamentals of their training. They need to carve off another angle. They need to shave down another second. They need to start to sculpt that their skills that they need to build. And you get that done by doing the same thing repetitively over and over and over again. If you look at the greats in all sports, and there will always be a discussion and debate about who did what, but like usually it's the same, 2 to 5 to 1 to 5 people. And when you look at the great people who have done what they've done in every sport at every athletic level, they never were the most physical imposing person. They were never the most physically dominant person in their sport. But what they were was they were meticulous, they were monotonous, they were maniacal about how they train and how they went about their training, in their execution of their training, and being able to take that and put it in their field of play. That's what made them great. They weren't putting up all these ridiculous numbers in the gym. And right now, that is a component of how we measure someone's greatness or the effectiveness of training. All the new things that keep coming out. You're watching all these athletes and even non-athletes do all these great things in the gym. And if you're an athlete, if they're athletes, you watch them do these ridiculous feats in the gyms, but they be bums on the field, because now you're missing the basics. Who cares what you box jump if you have poor footwork? If your ankles don't work, how efficient and how effective your squat is, it's not going to be good. Who cares? It doesn't matter. You can't move. You can't execute this box jump on bad feet and bad ankles. You can't get out of the way of harm's way of an opponent if your feet don't work. So all those other feats that you've done become null and void. They become ineffective. They become not something that you need to focus on. So with execution, as far as athletes go from, being able to do these things and being able to operate at an intensity in athletics comes from confidence. And confidence comes from being able to effectively and efficiently execute a movement with the most confidence, because you've done it 1,000 times. You've looked in this mirror 1,000 times. You've walked down this turf 1,000 times. You've hit that bag 1,000 times. You've done these things so often, so precise over a period of time, because each time you do it, you see the move, and you see the move as you do it more and more. You see where you need to make the adjustments. You see where you need to make the angles. And that is so much better than fun. Fun has you be dependent. Fun and entertainment makes you stay on that, in that dependency, and you always need to hit this level of intensity, or this level of engagement. Otherwise, you won't do it. This is especially true in kids. With kids, parents sometimes battle with trying to keep them entertained. They look at awesome things all day on their phones. Like every day, they see something new and something greater. And the problem with that is, if you have to keep that faucet running, you have to keep duplicating that over and over again, that level of intensity. It's like anything else. Sugar or alcohol, once your tolerance becomes higher and higher and higher, you have to hit this level now to be able to be engaged, to be able to be entertained. So with children, if you give them a chance to not always have to be engaged and be entertained, you find that they find the benefit, they find the self-reliance in doing the same thing over and over again. And it's something we often have to talk with parents about, because they think the opposite. So and so can't sit still. So and so can't focus. So I need to give them something engaging and bright and shiny and new over and over and over again. It's like you're hurting them. You're hurting them if you're giving them that. What is going to benefit them is something that's not that, something that's lower, something that's quiet, something that they can precise, something they can see precision in, something they can sculpt, something they can make, and not make in the physical, but make of themselves. And in the process of doing that, of doing the same thing over and over and over, they're sculpting their psyche, they're sculpting their mindset, and the physical parts are coming, and they're seeing the progress come. They're seeing the development, they're seeing the progression, they're seeing it coming. It's very small, but each day they do the same move over and over and over again. And now they're training, and they don't need to be engaged. They don't need to be entertained. They don't need it. Can you, like, the benefit of not needing that? That needs to be, or would be, a better approach, or a better thing to shoot at. Not having to be entertained, not having to be constantly overstimulated. To not have it, to not be dependent on those things, makes you such a stronger person. So when training, things like fun and entertaining, if you consider those things, if you're looking for that to be the priority, that could hurt you in the long run. And as a business saying those things, you start Xing out a lot of people as far as like your audience and who you're going after. But it shouldn't be that way. What we're trying to sell you, we're trying to get you to understand there are better things in the gym and with training and working out than just fun. Because fun, if you have to keep changing it over and over again for you to come in, for you to walk in, that's going to run out. That well is going to run dry at some point in time. But if you can find something better than fun, more enjoyable than fun, something more accomplishing, something more fulfilling than fun, by just going to work and seeing how your attitude changes, seeing where the benefit comes, and you're seeing the small progression over and over again by doing the same things over and over again, you become better at working out. You become a better athlete. You become a better person as regards to physical training.